Howdy friends, Guthrie Trapp coming to you here from East Nashville, Tennessee. What a glorious day it is here in wonderful, beautiful, sunny East Nashville, Tennessee, across the river from all the insanity that's now wide open on Lower Broadway. I gotta tell you, it's like New Year's Eve down there, folks. It's nuts. You wouldn't believe it with your own eyes. Some of you have probably seen it. There's all kinds of stuff hanging out down there. Hey guys, glad to be back. I'm so excited to get back on the YouTube schedule here. Hopefully, be able to get a few videos to you guys per week. Really trying to grow this channel as the next chapter of my life is upon me, and I'm trying to figure out how to continue to make a living as a musician. Up till now, it's been fantastic. I've been an extremely lucky and fortunate dude. Proud to call many of you guys my friends. Grateful for just everything. I really have nothing to complain about. Great family, great friends, great career. Still waiting for the green light to give you guys on the thing that's coming up in May. Anyway, really excited about that. Getting together with 18 South this Saturday for a show at the world famous Station Inn, my favorite place to play and one of my favorite bands to play with. All the stuff, check out the links below. Check out the tip jugs. Check out Instagram, please. Check out Facebook, check out all that stuff. Glad you're here on YouTube. Today, I want to get into a couple ideas. Man, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you guys about. I love to talk about the technical things and the fundamentals we need to be able to grow on our instrument and express ourselves. But I really like to talk about the spirit of music. And one thing I want to mention is, folks, just keep having fun with this and do what you can to have fun playing music. And the other thing about this that I'll get in more depth in maybe another video is the importance that I've gained in my life of playing along with other people in your community, anything you can. If you can't do that, the next best thing is playing along to records. Learn some parts off of records. Learn songs. Learn licks, learn stuff you've heard your whole life. Learn Happy Birthday, learn When the Saints Go Marching In, learn the National Anthem, learn the Flintstones, learn Andy Griffith. Learn anything that you can hear with your ear, and that is going to make you a better musician. And by musician, I mean not just a guitar player. Any instrument you pick up, you'll be able to find things on it. This is an amazing tool that is right in front of all of us that we seem to be kind of overlooking a little bit. It's the sheer importance of, at the end of the day, without our hearing in our ears, there is no music. We can't hear music. And so at the end of the day, we need to be focused on what this stuff sounds like at the end. All this other technical stuff and amps and pedals and pickups and all this stuff is just a way to get there, right? And so with that being said, I really like to focus on the spirit of music. Okay, so more on that to come. Just don't forget about the importance of really listening to records and learning parts and songs. Learn songs. And so, getting back to this kind of funk rhythm, some of these funk rhythm ideas, I'm just going to throw some ideas at you here. Let's get to like an E7 chord. And of course, I got to say this, if you want to dive deeper into any of these concepts, like if you don't know what an E7 chord is, I'm probably not going to show you here on YouTube. That's probably something we're going to have to do in a private lesson via Zoom or Skype. You can check all that out on my website, or check out ArtistWorks for my full online curriculum, which we'll tell you more about, later on down the road. It's all on my site, GuthrieTrapp.com. Anyway, getting back to this. When you're playing these little chord ideas, the main thing is, and this reverts back to playing along to records and something that has time to it with another person, is when you make a mistake, they're not going to stop. You have to keep going. And that's one of the main things as far as practicing that can really help. If you're playing by yourself and you make a mistake, you stop and you go back and you do it again and you do it again. Well, when you're playing live in a bandstand or on a session or with another person or even to a record, when you make a mistake, that chorus is coming no matter whether you're ready for it or not, or that chord change, or that solo, or that fill, that section that you're going to need to play. And so you got to be ready for it, and that's another great thing about playing to something that has some time to it. It holds you accountable, right? And so that being said, I promise I'm going to get to some playing here. So this is the kind of idea. We want to have a call and response kind of thing. The main thing we want to do is make sure that we're marking the chord changes. So I'll give you a little example. Here in the key of E. always say no extra charge for mistakes. None of that was perfect by any means, but that's the idea of just some little call and response ideas. Now, I'm completely improvising here, so like I said, you know, there's a few little things there that weren't perfect, but mainly marking those chords. This right hand, for that kind of funk stuff, this right hand is just relentless. It is nonstop. Like if I didn't have these on the fingerboard, it would just sound like this. I mean, it's just going nonstop. And then the muting and stuff with this hand, I'm trying to keep real clean, and I'm trying to keep only the notes that I want to speak coming out here. And a lot of times it's these upper extension strings, because I don't want this low stuff really getting in the way of the other sonic things that are going to be happening in a band situation or a session or something. So I'm focusing on that kind of James Brown upper higher strings. And then when you mark the chords, like I didn't do it perfectly every time, but when you go to B, like the 5 chord, then it's okay. So mark the chords any way you can, preferably with the extensions that you need to actually mark the chord. The major third, the 1, the flat 7. That's another thing, that tritone for E, for A, for E, for B, to E. That right there will get you down the road. If you can understand the relationship between that tritone, just moving down, and all it is the major third and flat 7 of each chord. It's this, E7, A7, and B7, 1, 4, 5. But that kind of mark, you know, playing a blues progression, marking the chord changes, E, A, B, E. You know, throwing these little ideas in here, like these little partials. That's what I want to get at, is these little fills. And you're going to really have to kind of come up with a little vocabulary of these fills and stuff, because they do have to be in time in between these chords. So if I do something like this, let's see. Right, that's like a little part. And so I might want to answer that, right? So I might go. Sometimes you can go kind of random, and then sometimes you really want to have a nice part. I would say if you're playing more like a New Orleans funk kind of thing, and you want to do like you're kind of improvising and more of a kind of almost a jammy situation, then yeah, you don't want it to be boring. You don't want to play the same part all night long, but you want to stick to something that the audience might be able to go, oh, okay, cool, that was cool, and now it's going to happen again. Oh, okay, cool, it might even happen again. Well, now I've heard it 3 or 4 times. Now maybe it's time for something else. So when you go to the 4 chord, maybe change that up a little bit. You know, go to the 4, A. That's like a G to a D to an A7, which is perfectly fine. I'm using A as the bass. So that's like the 4 chord version of this. I did this, and then in A, you just flat the third in the E shape here. Now that goes, because we're playing over the flat 7 of A, so. Something like that. Right, you got this? muscle shoals. So you see what I'm doing. I'm doing these little, these are great. You can throw those in. They still sound fat to where you're not doing like a single note thing all the time, but you can do that as well, like the James Brown thing. I love this. So there's another example of a call and response. So the first one, I flipped it. So the first one is. So this isn't going to be a long lesson. I mainly wanted to give you some of these ideas and a little insight on kind of how I'm looking at this. Of course, you know, to check out the links below, I got to say that is I'm trying to build this channel and my career and everything else. It's funny how this has gotten so social media centric, but you know what? That's where we're at. And if we don't embrace this, then we all fall behind, you know, as far as trying to keep up with the music industry and everything that's going on with that. So thank you so much for your support. Always happy to help. Love doing the Skype and Zoom lessons. Love the video exchanges via ArtistWorks. I'm making friends all over the world with that. And I got to tell you that it's a great company and a great group of people. I love them and we're friends, which I'm proud to say that means a lot when you're working with somebody in a business situation like that. And so great company, great folks. Check that out. But don't forget, folks, listen to a bunch of music. Try to expand your palette. If you've just been listening to a lot of electric blues for the past couple years or 5, 10, 20, 30 years, whatever, try to get into some other kinds of music. The more broad your spectrum is as far as what you like and what you're influenced by, the more rounded, well-rounded you're going to be as a not only a guitar player, but as a musician in general. So that's my spiel for today. Looking forward to the feedback and looking forward to seeing you guys in a few days. All right, cheers. Take care. All right, bye.